Welcome to X11 Garage, and today it's sprocket number 4. We're going to try and fit the sprocket to the baby. There she is. And we've got a genuine Honda sprocket, so fingers crossed this will be the last fit this time and it'll work. So, before we start, somebody asked me in the comments about fitting a centre stand and how hard is it. It's not hard, but it is a little awkward, and the spring that comes with it is very strong. So I'll show you the centre stand. As you can see here, you've just got 2 bolts, but they've got top hat washers in them because the hole in the centre stand is bigger than the thread on the bolt. So it's to let it pivot on the washer and not on the thread. So you put the top hats in, put the bolts on, bolt on either side. One there, one there. You may have to clean the thread if, like me, hasn't had a centre stand on for a long time. These threads are all dirty from road salt. Then I like to do is to have the centre stand on, use a bungee rope to hold the centre stand up, and then you get a spring which goes on that side and hooks there. And what I tend to do is get a long screwdriver across here, put the spring on the screwdriver, and then lever it up and over. But be careful, the spring is quite strong, and if it slips, catches your hand, it can be very painful. So this is where it mounts, and there's where the spring goes to hold it. The reason I took mine off was because of the exhaust system. I've put aftermarket cans on there, and as you can see, the pipes don't line up the way the originals did, so the centre stand hits off the rubber mark, so it doesn't fit very well, but it is very good for changing tyres, doing chains. So I recommend to keep it handy, and a couple of quick bolts. Make sure you grease these threads, and then you can run the bolts in, put the centre stand back on, and use it just for maintenance, and then drop it off, whip the bolts out, and put it somewhere safe. So you always got the stand. I made the mistake taking it off, using paddock stands, and then the paddock stands broke, or bent in this case, so I was left without anything to lift the bike off the ground. So I've got a paddock stand, had it extended, as you can see, just 2 inches off the ground, plenty of room. One nice new sprocket on the back. As I said before, it needs a clean, so don't criticise me, because as soon as the winter comes, she'll have a lovely good clean before she gets put away. But yes. Right, let's take the casing back off. It's the clutch rod. The clutch rod I had to change, and I'd put a Blackbird one on because it's got a Blackbird hydraulic conversion. So there's a new Honda sprocket. Let's unwrap it, see if it fits. Nice. And that's why I like the Honda ones. No plate, no rattling, no chinking. Lovely. Snip that up. Nice and tight. Oh, we better leave that off until we put the chain on. Otherwise it might rub against it. Right, time for the chain. I bought the RK chain, gold, getting recommended on the internet for the Hondas. So I'll give it a go. Ideal as an OE replacement and competition. Lighter weight while securing strength. So let's see how good it is. Comes with stickers. I'm going to put gloves on for this because it's oily and greasy. It gets everywhere. And I've got to feed it through. Right, we're going to leave it in the bag. Stop the crap getting on it. And then feed it around the back first. You keep feeding it in until you get it on the front. And then feed it on the front sprocket. It's well greased, this chain, making it difficult to turn. Something I could have done first is slacken the wheel off and the adjuster. But it doesn't matter when you do it, really. Right, to adjust the chain or slacken the chain on a VFR single-sided swing arm. This is a VFR 800. You loosen the nut in the back. Once you've slackened it off at the back, you get a C-spanner. If, like me, you bought the single-sided swing arm from somebody, not from Honda, and put it on, you won't come with this in the toolkit. So I advise you to buy one if you run in the VFR 800. It makes adjusting the chain so much easier. It fits under the seat easily. They're only a couple of quid on eBay. Well, they used to be. I haven't bought one for ages. But it is a handy tool to have, rather than trying to get in there with a screwdriver and banging it with a hammer and all that rubbish. You just put this in and it'll just when you put a new chain on, it's best to turn the adjuster all the way in. I'll give you as much slack as you need to get the chain to reach. As you can see, it was a fair way out, so I had to move it a long way in. But I got my money's worth out of the chain, that's for sure, before it snapped. So now we'll put the rivet link in. It comes with grease. The back plate. The rivet link itself with the 2 pins. And 4 seals. 2 each side. That's to keep the grease in, the dirt out, and to prolong the life of your chain. So we put 2 seals on. Open the grease. Smear on a healthy amount. Try and use it all. You're going to lose some when you put it through the holes in the chain anyway, so get as much on as you can. The more you put on, the more you're likely to catch inside the link to make it last longer. Two seals on the outside. And then the plate goes on. So this is my chain riveter. It's done by whale, and it's got a whale on the side of it, which is quite apt because people say I look like a whale, especially when I'm laying down on the floor fixing a bike. So it's a very good tool. Has a hole in the center to put the riveter. Give it a couple of bangs, and it squashes out the end of the rivet. Just stays on. I made this one go through the middle just to spread the center a little bit. Works very well. They're quite expensive, but if you've got a couple of bikes, it's worth getting. You do a chain job yourself, save you an hour's labour in the shop. And I say once you've got other bits, it's not hard to do. It takes a little bit of time once you get used to it. If you do it every day, it gets quicker and quicker. But luckily I don't have to do it every day, so. So you put it on a little bit at a time, because the end of the rivets is soft, and if you put them on too quickly, it'll kink the plate and damage the end of the rivet, and then your chain will fall off. And you don't want that happening, like mine did a couple of weeks ago. But here we go. New chain. Another thing you've got to do, make sure it's not too tight, or the chain will seize and you'll have a clicking where the link is not turning properly. So make sure the link moves easily, both ends of the link does not stick in. Once you've got the same amount sticking out as the other links, then you can squash the end over. I like to put the chain riveter on and then wedge it up against the tyre, usually something to hit against so it doesn't bounce too much. I'm looking for the number on the side because I know then that the dip is in the middle, and then you turn it 90 degrees to get it the other way. And there she is, edges peened over, similar to the other links in the chain. You'll never get as good as that because it's a soft link with a hole in the center, and that's done by machine. So unless you've got a machine that presses that, you'll never get it done. But these whale chain splitters and riveters are really good, heavy, good quality. I've had that one for years. As you can see, you've got the dip in the middle, which gives you your chamfered edges. You do it one way to chamfer the two, top and bottom, and then you turn it 90 degrees to chamfer the sides, and that gives it its rivet. So the chain is now on, although very slack. Nice and gold. So the next job, adjust it up. It's so much easier with the Honda tool. That gives you your inch. Yep, lovely. Tighten up the pinch bolt. And the chain is on. All we have to do now is put the cover back on. Now we've got to put the sprocket cover back on with the hydraulic clutch slave cylinder. Don't forget the spacer, otherwise it's going to rub on casing on the sprocket. As you can see, I bought an Allen key set for the casings, all this side of the engine and the other side, and I lost this one. I don't know where it went, whether it must have been in the kit, but there wasn't one that long, so, and I haven't been able to get a long one. So it remains that the only X11 bolt on the casings, apart from the heads and the barrels. Very disappointed, but nobody notices except me. Seems to be seated properly, so we nip it up tight. Poor baby. She needs a clean badly. But she's now got new chainless sprockets. Yay! Happy days. And there's no bolts left over. It's always a good sign when there's no bolts left over. Right. Nothing tapping or rubbing, so that's a good sign. Plenty of slack in the chain. Yep, so we're gonna put it back in the garage, and if it's nice tomorrow, it's getting late now, we give it a clean. First one this year. Not good. Not good. See you all next time.